It is a part of
It
it.
is a part of it, right?
It
Let's
can
see,
say
can
you.
I,
She just needs to move it.
call the meeting to order, and could I ask Rhett to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Rhett. Okay, just a note of new news is we do have a new board member, Raymond Ryerson, who's the business manager for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, so that's great. He wasn't able to join us today, but we're going to put him through all the training steps and so forth before the next meeting, but we're very happy to have him join our team. All right, let's see. I'll ask for approval of the minutes from the meeting of November 19. Moved by Rhett, seconded by Lisa. Any additions, corrections? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Rachel, have there been any requests for comments, making comments?
No.
Thank you. Kevin Loki is here with us today to give us an update on our local labor monitoring report.
Good
afternoon, Kevin.
Okay. So I have the November monthly COMIDA report covering our visits between November 1st and November 30th. During this period, we made 52 monthly site visits. We made 2 follow-up visits during the month of November. We checked a residency with 1,176 workers. We had 4 instances of non-compliance, 1 of which was no proof of residence, 3 of which were out of area. And there were no new COMIDA signs delivered during the month of November.
Okay, any questions for Kevin? All right, good job, Kevin. Thank you very much.
Should I stay here for the next part?
Is Jim going to join us?
I'm Jim.
I think Jim is in Guam.
Yeah, he's back from Guam.
Oh, he is? Okay,
I
okay.
didn't want to inconvenience him. I'm already here.
There you are. You get another turn to talk.
Yes.
So this is on the local labor exemption
That's correct.
report.
So these are the November verified exemption requests that were approved. So let's see, the first one is for Fairlife. Vitrified tile, that warranty, it's a specialty construction is the waiver category on that. So Fairlife uses argolith, hexalith tile in their production plants around the country. It's a specialized tile that's used in a number of dairy facilities across America, and specifically here in New York State. The particular tile, which is created by Argolith ceramic tiles, has been installed at 3 HP Hood facilities, 2 Burn facilities, Chobani, Cayuga Milk Ingredients, Leprino, and Friesland Campina that are all right here within New York. There's a factory trained program that's required to install these tiles, and we've been provided a list of the companies that have employees that have been trained, none of which are within the local area. There are 2 contractors that will be performing the work due to scheduling issues on the project, one of which is Integrated Industrial Services, and that's based out of Syracuse, New York, and they'll be performing a third of that scope. Unfortunately, they don't have any workers that fall within our defined local area. The other company is Stosgill Tile, and they're based in Huntley, Illinois, and we had conversations with E.G. Sackett Tile, which is a local company that performs similar work. They're also performing a number of work already at the Fairlife project, but they don't have factory-trained employees to do that portion specifically. So that is the first waiver that I have for Fairlife. Any questions on that, or we're going to just move on?
Go ahead.
Okay. The next one also for Fairlife is for Tarsco bolted tank. This is under the category of specialty / lack of local labor. So Tarsco bolted tank is being hired to erect and install the fire protection water storage tank by the fire pump house on the Fairlife project. JF Ahern, which is the fire protection company on site that currently has an exemption, they have a design build contract with Haskell, and they've chosen Tarsco for this scope. Ahern has been utilizing Davis Ulmer Fire Protection, which is a local company here in Rochester, for the majority of the fire protection labor on this project. Davis Ulmer, as a union contractor, has confirmed that they have no local workforce capable of performing this scope. And there are no certified companies within the 10-county area that can perform the work. fire tanks such as this are not necessarily common in our area. They're more common in like New York City, usually on the top of skyscrapers, these type of fire tanks. So we asked Haskell if they could have any local crane operators that could be utilized in the process. However, crane operators are not necessary as everything is erected piece by piece right on site. Any questions on that one? Okay, so the final waiver we have is for home leasing. Contractor is IC Construction. This is for a lack of local labor. IC Construction is asking for an exemption for union painters on the home leasing project. Local 150 has provided a letter stating they cannot provide local union painters for this Taylor Square project. They'll be pulling union painters from the Erie County area, but will replace them with local painters as they become available within the local halls. The project is nearing completion and they're hoping to finish on schedule, but they won't be able to if they don't have these painters on site. So we consider that one to be valid and recommend it to be approved. And those are the three that I have that were approved for November.
Thank you, Kevin. Any questions?
Just comment.
Yes, sir.
Norm?
Thank you for the thoroughness and the complete report that you provided us. It's very detailed and gives us a lot of information. So thank you.
Any other questions you have too, if more specifics, you're always welcome to contact myself or Jim, even if he's in Guam. We'll answer that for you.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. Greg, our financial report, please.
Sure. Okay, 11 months into our fiscal year, you can see our balance sheet of cash is down about 4.4 million from where it was at the end of December, mainly due to our investments in our treasuries, but also to support our net deficit through 11 months. In terms of, we have that cash grant funding, which represents the funding from New York State to support the Fairlife and our G&E project. We have processed our first transaction, I believe it was this week, so more to come on that, as we move forward with that. Our investments, which represent today or at the end of November about 13.69 million, really represents various notes and bonds. There's about 6 of those. They expire basically every 3 months or mature every 3 months from January of 2025, and I believe we're out to April of 2026 currently on those maturities. All of our other balances are within expectations and budgets. In terms of our revenue and expenses, you can see our fee income, we generated 31,000 of fees for the month of November. As we have talked about the past few months and the year, we do anticipate a significant closing to happen here, hopefully within the next couple of weeks, if
In the
not.
next couple of hours, or
it's possible.
Wednesday.
Maybe.
It's Wednesday?
Oh, now it's Wednesday.
Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So
Good.
that'll turn the finances, around quite a bit.
Right.
Interest income, and again, that's a little bit more than we had budgeted, mainly because we've had more excess working capital throughout the year that allowed us to invest into our bonds and treasuries. That has kind of come back a little bit because we needed some excess cash to support some of our workforce development programs. But again, with this closing, that may change over here in the next 30 days. In terms of our expenses, again, we're generally over budget by 130,000, which is our payroll, our program, and community development. Mainly that is a result of increase in headcount, our technology improvements, and our workforce development programs that have all been budgeted and approved by the board. But again, some of that also is timing. So all in all, a very good position with respect to expenses. And like I said, I think hopefully over the next week and before the new year, we'll have a good present and turn our net deficit of $2.3 million into a surplus, probably of $1 million or so.
Great. Nice to close on the year.
Always close on a high note.
Any questions for Greg? All right, thank you. We will move on into our applications, and our first applicant is Alklight LLC. Anna?
Thank you, Ann. Alklight LLC, a technology company specializing in advanced ultra-fast laser material fabrication located in the city of Rochester, is proposing the purchase of a motorized 3D surface profiler. This equipment will be crucial to Alklight's manufacturing process, allowing them to evaluate their manufacturing processes and quality control. The $145,279 project is projected to create 3 FTEs over the next 3 years. Alklight LLC has applied for a great rebate on the equipment purchase through the Monroe County Industrial Development Corporation and is seeking approval of the sales tax exemption through COMIDA. The benefit to incentive ratio is 140-1.
Thanks, Anna. And we have the general manager and senior scientist, I wish I had a title like that, with us this morning to tell us more about the project.
Yeah, sure. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ji Bin Ngo. I'm currently a general manager and senior scientist of Outline LLC based in Rochester. We specialize in advanced ultrafast laser material fabrication. And as you mentioned, we plan to purchase a motorized 3D surface profiler for King. This equipment will be crucial for our manufacturing process in evaluating the morphology and dimensions of tiny structures.
Okay. Any questions from the board on that? Okay, a public hearing was not necessary for this project. I do want to ask you some local labor questions. Are you aware of our local labor policy?
Yes.
And do you anticipate any local labor exemptions at this time?
No.
No. And are you aware that any exemptions need to be requested 45 days in advance?
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you. The seeker process is complete. I'll now ask for a motion for inducement and final resolution approving a sales tax exemption. Norm?
Yes.
Truman?
Second. Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Did we do a motion
I
first?
didn't hear the motion.
We didn't do a
I
motion.
thought we didn't do, okay.
Oh,
All
I
right,
move it.
You move it.
I move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
By Brett, right. Okay. All those in favor then, so, Lisa?
Yay.
Rhett?
Yay.
And Ann is a yay, so that's unanimous. Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you.
And it's great to see that Kodak Park is being utilized in such a diverse way.
Absolutely.
Very special.
I agree. Okay, and next project is Werner Industries LLC. Anna?
Warner Industries LLC, a manufacturer of church furniture and machined equipment, proposes the purchase and renovation of a 24,742 square foot building in the city of Rochester. Warner Industries recently acquired an Ohio-based company and plans to consolidate operations into the newly renovated facility. Warner Industries will allow the current owners to lease a portion of the building until they find a new location, after which they plan to renovate the remainder of the building. This $2.9 million project is expected to create 4 new FTEs over the next 3 years, in addition to its existing 18.5 FTEs. The applicant is requesting sales and mortgage reporting tax exemptions only, and the benefit to incentive ratio is 52-1.
Okay, thanks, Anna. We have Representative John Little, the owner, and Jennifer Weinschreider, business manager. Sorry, we didn't pronounce it very well. Thank you. Tell us more about your project.
Well, I'm John Little from Warner Industries, and we are a 100-year-old contract, a 100-year-old furniture manufacturer located here in the city of Rochester. And for over 100 years, we have produced equipment for the print industry, and then also beautiful oak wooden furniture for the church industry. We are in our original, all over 100-year-old facility, and we are looking to be able to continue in the city of Rochester to grow and develop. And we need to consolidate our 3 buildings under one roof so that we can consolidate and grow. And then recently, one of our suppliers in Ohio has decided to get out of the industry of producing some of the hardware which we use for our products, and we've also looked to acquire those and incorporate that into our operations. So we're looking for any help we can to maintain our presence here in the city of Rochester and continue to grow and develop our products and continue along in tradition here in the city of Rochester.
Great, very impressive project, so. Were any questions by the board? Okay, there was no public hearing required, and I'll ask you our local labor questions. Are you aware of our local labor policy?
Yes.
And do you anticipate any local labor exemptions at this time? And are you aware that any exemptions need to be requested 45 days in advance?
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you. The seeker process is complete. I'll now ask for a motion for inducement and final resolution approving a sales tax exemption and mortgage recording tax exemption. Moved by Lisa.
Second.
Seconded by Truman. Any comments, questions? All those in favor? Well, I'll take a roll call. Norm.
Yes.
Truman.
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes.
Brett.
Yes.
And Ann is yes also. Congratulations. Unanimous.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you and good luck to you. Okay,
Right. You're free to go.
the next project is Waffle Acre. Waffle Acre. I know that's
Waffle later.
Waffle
Here comes the
Acre.
food.
There we go. Myself.
So on it. So am I actually.
I will go ahead and read the project description. Waffleator LLC, a food production manufacturer specializing in waffles and other frozen foods, proposes the renovation of 3780 West Ridge Road, a 133,000 square foot building in the town of Greece. Renovations include conversion of the facility from a dry storage warehouse to food manufacturing plant. A special 13-year real property tax abatement is supported by the town of Greece in order to be competitive with offers from southern states luring the business. Waffleator LLC plans to create 133 FTEs over the next 3 years. The $8.6 million project is seeking custom real property tax abatement, mortgage reporting tax exemption, and sales tax exemption. The cost to benefit ratio is 80-1.
Thanks, Anna. And I believe we have Michael Pinkowski, who's president, with us on Zoom. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please elaborate on your project for us. Thank you.
Certainly, we are in the process of finalizing the project. Obviously, this is an important piece for us with the incentives that are being offered. We'll have over 5 years, we'll be producing approximately 800 million waffles and pancakes a year in that facility, being shipped to 50 states, Central and South America. It's a continuation of a project I started down in Atlanta that we've decided to move out of Atlanta and start a new company, partnering with Billy Dolan, who currently owns that building, and adding our food expertise to the project so that we can make it successful.
Thank you.
And there are other pre-baked pies and such that you're going to create as well for companies like Walmart and Wegmans.
Correct. Yeah, we make product for all the major retailers, as well as food service suppliers, the Cisco's, the U.S. Food Service, obviously Walmart, Wegmans, ShopRite, Kroger, Albertsons, all amongst our customer base. Much like everybody else, we have a limited number of customers these days due to mergers and acquisitions through the years, but we supply the majors in our existing company in Henrietta. So we already have the setups and ability to generate sales immediately, and we're under contract with several retailers that are already looking forward to getting product, hopefully in July if everything comes to fruition.
That's a pretty quick turnaround, so. Questions from the board?
Does this move your entire operation out of the state of Georgia to New York? Or?
Yes, it does. Everything moves out of Georgia. I did a hard stop on the plant in Georgia last December. I'm actually sitting in my pickup truck at the plant in Georgia, which is why we have the building's being clean scraped sometime in January down here in Georgia, and a new facility to be built for the railroad of all things. So we are a hard stop down here, and looking forward to hopefully getting this thing into New York State very quickly.
It's interesting. Usually,
It is.
usually they go from north.
I know you don't hear people moving from Georgia to New York very often. This falls in that. There's no place like home from The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, just, I want to commend you on, it's my understanding that this was a competitive process. There were some other states who were interested in having the business as well. But the fact that, you've chosen to come back to New York, specifically in the Rochester region, I think is commendable, specifically with the creation of an additional 133 jobs. And so, from that standpoint, I think that, the board and the region is grateful for that. So,
Yeah, well, the nicety of upstate New York is we have a great workforce. I grew up in Grand Island and went to school at RIT, and my daughter's at RIT now, and my son's probably going to go to RIT. So we have strong ties to the community, and we look forward to hopefully our employees continuing that relationship in Rochester and giving opportunities for their families, multi-generational as well.
Great.
Okay, thanks for that. Any other questions? All right, we did have a public hearing on this project on December 12th. Rachel, any comments during the hearing? Okay, thank you. I'll ask you our local labor questions. Are you aware of our local labor policy?
Yes.
Okay, do you anticipate any local labor exemptions at this time?
No.
And are you aware that any exemptions need to be requested 45 days in advance?
Yes.
Okay, great. The seeker process is complete. I'll now ask for a motion for inducement and final resolution approving a sales tax exemption, mortgage recording tax exemption, and real property tax abatement.
So move.
Moved by Norm, seconded by Lisa. Any other comments, changes to the motion? Okay. I'll take a vote. Norm?
Yes.
Truman?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Brett?
Yay.
And Ann is a yay. Boy, we're all feeling pretty good here today. Congratulations, motion carries.
It's that time of year.
It's that time of year, that's right. Good luck to you, and keep us posted on all of your success.
Let me just thank everybody who was involved in this process, and look forward to getting this across the finish line. As I said, thank you to the board and everybody in the town of Greece who worked so hard on this project.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay, our next project is 2851 Clover LLC. Anna?
Thank you, Ann. 2851 Clover LLC is proposing the construction of a new housing development in the town of Pittsburgh, designed around the desires of the town for affordable workforce housing. The proposed development will include 122 one-bedroom, 42 two-bedroom, and 12 three-bedroom apartments with rents ranging from $1,599 to $3,199 per month. This $41 million project is projected to create 8 new FTEs over the next 3 years. 2851 Clover LLC is seeking approval of sales tax and mortgage recording tax exemptions. The benefit to incentive ratio is 17%.
Thank you, and we have Anthony Daniele and Danny Daniele with us this morning, or this afternoon. Welcome. Tell us more. I know we've been up and down and all around on this project, but
So this is a site in Pittsburgh at the corner of Clover and Jefferson that's been vacant for over 10 years, and it's been in pretty bad shape. It used to be retail offices that were up on the Barn Bazaar corner, and obviously with retail and office space kind of declining a little bit and the age of the building, it's really been an eyesore for this corner of Pittsburgh. And so there was a proposal from Friendly Senior Living Community to build senior living there several years ago, which got town approval, but unfortunately, between COVID and cost of construction increases and competition, Friendly Senior Living decided to abandon the project and came to us and asked if we'd be interested in taking it off their hands.
So that wasn't Cloverwood?
That was, Cloverwood is Friendly Senior Living, it's the parent company, so they're
Gotcha,
affiliated.
right.
So we ended up purchasing the property from them and have been working with the town of Pittsburgh for close to a year and a half on the approvals of this apartment project. And, you know, in studying and working with the town on their comprehensive plan, there is definitely a need in the town of Pittsburgh for workforce housing for, you know, and these are market rate apartments, but they're certainly more reachable for the, you know, teachers and firefighters and police officers who live in Pittsburgh, maybe raise their families in Pittsburgh and are now looking for kind of one step out the door and not as much financial burden, and so these apartments fill that need in that community.
So that was a fair amount of effort, I'm sure, on your part, because
Yes.
the town's request, if you will, or basis for granting an approval was market rate housing.
Yes.
And so I appreciate the fact that we looked at your plan and found a way that we could still move forward to help you without the property tax abatement.
Thank you, and you know, thank you to the staff for their help and guidance, and of course, the town of Pittsburgh was actively involved
Yes, right.
in this process.
Okay, any questions? Yes.
You know, I would just say that the other problem that this will help solve is age in place. Age in place is tough in Pittsburgh, and
Right,
this will be very helpful with that. So
right.
I
Yeah,
commend you
and I
guys for
mean,
doing that.
so the town really, one of the emphasis in the town was age in place and in a place where seniors, I mentioned, you know, people moving out of their houses would have an option in Pittsburgh that otherwise is tough to find. And we've been asked the question, well, why didn't you just do senior housing? And it's kind of been a touchy subject because, you know, what is senior housing? And if you start putting labels on 55 and over, 65 and over, you know, even people that are 65 don't want to live in senior housing. And so that's hence the market rate, but really the target market is, you know, seniors who are kind of moving out of their house.
Yeah, I can differentiate that. I'm 73 years old. I don't consider
A young 73.
Yeah, I don't consider a need for senior housing, but I certainly would have liked an alternative to what I had to buy to stay in Pittsburgh.
Yes,
So I think this is going to fulfill that need.
we agree.
Well done.
Okay, Rachel had a public hearing
Yes,
on December 9th, and there were quite a number of comments.
yes, we received a number of comments, both at the hearing, which that link has been distributed to the board for viewing. We received a number of written comments. Overwhelmingly, the comments opposed the inclusion of the set-aside. It included comments from the town supervisor, the town attorney. So we've worked very closely with the town. Robin pointed out that even provided some comments on our resolution, which have been incorporated. So really collaborative experience with the town to modify the request to mortgage and sales tax only without the set-aside.
That was a team effort all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, any questions so far? All right, I'll ask you about our local labor questions. Are you aware of our local labor policy?
We are.
And do you anticipate any local labor exemptions at this time?
We do not.
And are you aware that any exemptions need to be requested 45 days in advance?
We are.
Okay, the seeker process is complete. I'll call for a motion for inducement of final resolution approving a sales tax exemption and mortgage recording tax exemption, and to waive the 20% affordable set aside.
So moved.
Moved by Truman, seconded by Norm. Any other comments, questions? All right, Norm?
Yes.
Truman?
Yes.
Lisa?
No.
Rhett,
Yay.
and Ann is a yay, so motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Give us
And-
updates, you
Yeah,
know.
and especially to the staff who, I know it's been a long year, and thank you to their time and effort in working with us and the town, frankly, with this partnership. And so
It
thank
takes a team effort, for sure.
you.
Thank you. Okay, now we have some project modifications. The first one is I-Square LLC, Anna?
I-Square is a mixed-use town center development in the town of Arundecoit. The project was originally approved in March of 2013 for a custom real property tax abatement, mortgage recording tax, and sales tax exemptions. This ongoing project has received several extensions of the sales tax exemption through December 31st, 2024. The applicant is requesting to modify the pilot agreement by adjusting the construction milestone, adding a parcel, and removing another parcel. The town of Arundecoit and the West Arundecoit School District are both supportive of these modifications. For informational purposes, the applicant is in the process of buying back the Market Building located at 400 Baker Park that was sold last year. In addition, the applicant is requesting another extension of the sales tax exemption through December 31st, 2026.
Do we have Michael Nolan with us? Good afternoon. Appreciate having you here with us.
Oh, thank you for having me. Robin asked me to attend today specifically to address questions with regard to the timing of the project or the length of time it's taken to build this. As much as we share probably the same issues that many other projects that have fallen behind their original anticipated schedule have, being the pandemic, shorter materials, short labor, all the more expected type of delays. We've experienced delays of our own doing, and that the success of I-Square has actually slowed our progress to a certain degree. So in 2013, 2014, we opened the market at I-Square. It's an open food hall, 3 restaurants, ice cream, wine bar, banquet center, and event center. And that's been running now for 10 years very successfully. We built an outdoor amphitheater stage where we have lawn chair and grass seating style concerts in coordination with the House of Guitars. And we host concerts every Saturday during the summer, as well as car shows, antique car shows every Wednesday night with live music. And those have been very successful, highlighted by 2 Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra concerts that garnered more than 2,000 visitors for those events. We built the Imaginary and the Arts and Science Event Center that also has been very successful, hosting small weddings, different events, class reunions, significant birthday events and celebrations of life. More recently, 2019, we opened a Arundecoit Beer Company, something that was not necessarily in the original plan, but has turned out to be one of the most successful ventures within I-Square, and just been bursting at the seams at that site since opening. And 5 of the 5 years we've been open, we've been either a runner-up or a winner of the Rochester Choice Awards for Best Brewery in the Rochester region. Subsequently, we opened Brookside Cottages Senior Living Development with 14 senior living cottages, so it's a blend of independent and senior model built together without any assistance. All 14 units have been occupied for all 3 years since we've been open. We are in the process of adding on to that and in the permitting process with the town. It's been great, it's been very successful. The downside to that is that it consumes, I-Square consists of myself, my wife, and we have 1 full-time employee. Its success in operating the businesses has slowed our ability, our personal bandwidth has been used up with operating as well as trying to continue growth and development. And for that reason, we are asking if you extend that and allow us to continue on the path that we're on, and we'll continue to build without the, continue our growth forward. I'm open to any questions you may have.
Sounds like you've had a lot of success, but it's not by sitting back and, the same old, you're innovating.
Correct.
A great deal.
Thank you. My wife and I both work 7 days a week, pretty much 52 weeks a year, and we are very dedicated to the development, and we really want to continue to see it through fruition. We have 2 available building sites to build on that we hope to. The time and the operation of the existing models has to be first. We don't want to fail trying to grow.
Right, makes sense. Any questions by the board?
I just want to say, we really appreciate you coming in, giving us a real good explanation on where you're going, some of the high marks, and really appreciate your commitment to the community, the area, that part of Rochester, that part of the Rochester region. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions from the board? All right, I'll ask for a motion to approve an extension of the sales tax exemption through December 31, 2026. Is there a motion by Rhett?
Second.
Seconded by Norm. Any comments, questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Second motion is to authorize an amendment to the pilot agreement and related documents to add a parcel, remove a parcel, and modify the final construction milestone. I'll ask for a motion on that. Rhett, is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Questions from the board on that? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate
Continued
your
success.
support. Thank you.
Okay, another modification is Sibley Redevelopment LP. Anna?
Thank you. Sibley Redevelopment Limited Partnership is one of 3 entities created to redevelop the former Sibley building in the city of Rochester. The project was approved in December of 2012. The applicant has been approved for several extensions of the sales tax exemption. The applicant is now seeking an additional extension of the sales tax exemption through December 31st, 2026, as they continue to attract new tenants to lease the vacant space.
I'll ask for a motion to, if there are no questions from the board, motion to approve an extension of the sales tax exemption through December 31, 2026.
Move it.
Moved by Norm, seconded by Rhett. Any comments, questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. All right, Sibley Mixed Use LLC.
Sibley Mixed Use LLC was originally approved for a custom pilot for the redevelopment of the former Sibley's department store in 2012. In 2016, the project was approved for sales and mortgage recording tax exemption. The applicant has been approved for several extensions of the sales tax exemptions. The applicant is now seeking an extension of the sales tax exemption through December 31st, 2026, due to tenant improvement fit out of the remaining commercial space necessary to fully occupy and stabilize commercial space.
What's the percentage of the commercial space that's not being used at this point, do we know?
It's pretty well occupied in that building now.
I kind of know, but I'm not going to say.
He, on page 170,
Pardon?
on page 170, he did include a letter. He didn't talk in percentages, but.
Oh, I see.
It's, I was at an event last week at a open house, and it's.
There?
Yeah, it's pretty well occupied. It's really moving. Now, that building was it's over 1 million square feet. So to get
We've
full
had many
occupancy.
phases of
Yeah,
that, yeah.
it's gonna be amazing. It's 1 million square.
Looks like at least 50,000 is vacant.
continuing to work on that.
50,000 out of 1 million.
What's the problem?
Says a lot. Right.
Okay. All right, so we need a motion on that to approve an extension of the sales tax exemption. Oops, we did that one. This is the mixed use, sorry. Motion to approve an extension of the sales tax exemption through December 31, 2026. This is for Sibley Mixed Use LLC. Moved by Lisa, seconded by Truman. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion carries. And then lastly, we have Sibley Commercial LLC, Anna.
Sibley Commercial LLC was originally approved for a custom real property tax abatement for the redevelopment of the former Sibley's department store in 2012. In 2016, the project was approved for sales and mortgage recording tax exemptions. The project has been approved for several extensions of the sales tax exemption. The applicant is again requesting an extension of the sales tax exemption through December 31st, 2026 due to tenant improvement fit out of the remaining commercial space necessary to fully occupy and stabilize commercial space.
Any question on that? All right, I'll ask for a motion to approve an extension of the sales tax exemption through December 31, 2026. This is for Sibley Commercial LLC.
Move it.
Moved by Norm,
Second.
seconded by Truman. Any other comments, questions? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay. Good work, we're just sailing right along here. Next item is the governance annual contract review. Our governance committee met on December 3rd and to review all of our annual contracts that we have throughout the year and to reapprove those contracts for the coming year. Let's see. Oh, the other point that we talked about in that meeting was the local labor exemption processing contract at this time. And the committee also reviewed the two proposals that were received from the housing study RFP. And the committee has asked the staff to reissue the RFP to try to get more responses. The RFP has been reissued and responses are due January 3rd. So that's the larger market study that we've talked about in recent meetings, and we're moving forward. But there was a little bit of a pause there saying, hey, we only got two responses to the RFP. There's probably others out there, so.
Well, CGR
is going to be in the mix, as they say. And so we should have the responses that are due by January 3rd.
I think it's a housing study is important for the direction that we're going. And it gives us an outline, a guideline, and some critical information on how we proceed.
Okay, shall we go into some of the contracts? All right, why not? The auditor contract. First motion is to approve an engagement with Mengel Metzger Barr as certified financial auditor to perform the 2024 financial audit with terms from the request for proposal. And you have a second page in your packet that for each one of these account holders, what their fees have been on an annual basis and so on. So anyway, I need a motion to approve the auditor contract. Moved by Rhett.
Second.
Seconded by Norm. Any other additions or corrections? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next contract is the accounting and chief financial officer. Do we need one, Greg? I'm sorry. He's doing a great job. Okay. We need a motion then to approve an engagement with the Bonadillo Group to provide accounting and chief financial services for fiscal year 2025 with terms from the request for proposal.
So moved.
Been moved by Norm, seconded by Truman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Local labor monitoring contract, motion to approve a contract with Loki Brill Consulting to provide local labor monitoring services for fiscal year 2024 with
I
terms
should say
from the
2025.
request for proposal. Is there a motion on that? Moved by Lisa, seconded by Rhett. Any comments, questions? All right, I'll ask for a motion to approve a contract with Loki Brill Consulting to provide local labor monitoring services for fiscal year 2024 with terms from the request for proposal. Truman is going to make that motion and Lisa is going to second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, legal services contract, is that necessary, Rachel?
You're on the
She
road,
can
yeah.
go.
No whispering there.
Add a little. Okay, I will ask for a motion to approve a contract with Harris Beach, PLLC, to provide legal services for fiscal year 2025 with terms from the request for proposal.
I'll make it.
Moved by Lisa, seconded by Truman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Real estate broker contract. I'll ask for a motion to extend the listing agreement with Pyramid Brokerage Company through December 31, 2025. Moved by Rhett, seconded by Norm. Any comments, questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, I'm gonna turn it over to Anna. She has a whole bunch of things to talk about.
Anything on Brian yet? Do we know where
No problem.
you were gonna reach out to?
Oh,
Yeah,
Brian.
I haven't connected yet. I still need to connect with Anna and no, so the answer's no.
He's okay.
But he's
Yeah.
okay,
He's
yeah.
okay.
It's okay?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, well, it's a good segue that we closed on the real estate broker contract because I have positive news to share with the board regarding the land that COMIDA owns on Brew Road, which is the reason for which we've engaged with Pyramid as our real estate broker. We have offers on all three parcels at this time. 30 Brew Road, which is a 6.7 acre piece of land. The asking price is $154,100. The intended use based on the offer is for a trucking hub and parking area. The proposed buyer will deposit $10,000 cash in escrow. Our attorneys are revising the purchase contract and will share with the buyer once this is complete, and the buyer has provided proof of funds. 75 Brew Road, which is an 18.89 acre parcel of land. The asking price is $361,677. This is a cash offer at closing. 141 Brew Road, a 26.43 acre piece of land, $396,450 asking price, cash at closing once again. These two parcels would be sold together. The intended use is a ready-mix concrete facility. The buyer has provided proof of funds and will deposit $200,000 in escrow. Our attorneys provided comments to the LOIO and are awaiting signature. Don't know the acronym LOIO.
It's just an LOI.
Oh,
It's
LOI.
LOI.
Oh,
There's
oh,
an extra
Oh, there's an
there.
extra
Sorry.
row there. I was like, what did I write there?
Thank you.
Got that.
See, it's great
Couldn't
that we
figure that
have
out.
commercial real estate experts at the table.
So this is just an update, right?
This is just an update, but, positive in that it represents, offers on all of the land, at this time, and we've owned the
Forever.
land for a very long time. And Norman knows some of the history.
I can't believe that this land right next to a landfill is so attractive to people.
They're just gonna park trucks in one parcel
Well,
and
if you,
do ready-mix concrete.
Well, as long as you were, you know, no sponge, you should be good.
I'm going back years and years and years, the history of that landfill and just the pushback we received from the public when we tried to site it there.
Yeah.
And now it's so attractive to people. I just,
Yeah, it's a real turnaround.
it's funny to me. It's
Prime
humorous.
property, yeah.
Maybe it speaks to, we're rounding a corner in the regional economic development, such that this land is attractive to industrial end users and supply chain
Oh,
input.
it's amazing. I just,
Did we just get the approval for 141 in the last week? Was that?
So if you recall at the November meeting, we've gone over the offers.
right.
The one offer was interested in two parcels, 75 and 141. So in going back and forth, we ended up able to sell both of those together to the same buyer.
To the same buyer.
Yeah.
It's great.
Is there a price on that?
Yeah.
All at asking price.
Yeah.
Well, over 700,000.
After so many years, it seems.
Yeah,
like a
over
bit of
20
a-
years, I think, at
Right.
this point.
Right.
And as a reminder, this property sits off the tax rolls because the IDA owns it.
Right.
So when we sell it, it goes back on the tax rolls.
That's right.
It's just,
Good for Riga.
I'm dating myself as a senior citizen.
Mature citizen.
Yeah, mature citizen. Yeah.
So we're not voting on anything at this
No.
point?
No, it was just a heads up to the board.
Next item is the SAM grant.
Yes. SAM is another acronym, stands for State and Municipal Grant, I believe. The board is all well aware of utility challenges, capacity challenges impacting the town of Henrietta, been publicly documented in the news media. Through the governor's office, the state is making available a grant to provide some capital, to provide for capital improvements that RG&E needs to invest in order to ameliorate those utility capacity issues. The grant totals $4.7 million and would be passed through COMIDA, which would partially fund the $17 million project for RG&E to expand capacity in the town of Henrietta to allow for commercial and residential developments that have been delayed or halted as a result. Some of them are multi-unit housing projects. The COMIDA board action is to make a seeker determination along with providing for the authorization to apply, receive, and disperse the grant monies. And with that, are there any questions from the board about this initiative?
I just think that the process, and this is like the third time we've gone through this process. We did it initially for the railroad spur at, for Kodak Park. We did it for Fairlife, and now we're doing it here. And the first two have been very positive for the region, and I think this also has a positive impact for the region. So it makes sense that we continue along those lines.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, those are three good examples of COMIDA going above and beyond. I think, you know, our typical application is to provide for incentives, and these are examples of us serving as a pass-through resource to make otherwise unavailable grant monies possible for important commercial and industrial projects.
And there are a number of projects pending or sort of in the pipeline, but hey, can't move forward because we can't get power, you know?
Pardon the pun, it's good to be a conduit for these types of,
Right.
of initiatives, and I think it bodes for a positive message that we're sending to the community at large, the actual commercial community, saying, guess what, we're here to work with you so that we can do these positive things and make this region so much more, inviting to these different entities. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for saying
Thank you. Norm, any other comments on Okay, I'm going to ask for a motion. A motion to identify the RG&E project as an unlisted action under seeker based upon parts 1 and 2 of the short EAF and determination that the project will result in no potential adverse environmental impacts. Need a motion on that? Moved by Rhett, seconded by Lisa. Any comments, questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. The agency, having conducted uncoordinated review of the project pursuant to seeker, issues a negative declaration. It's another motion. Right, okay. May I have a motion to that effect, please?
So moved.
Moved by Norm, seconded by Brett. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Second motion, we need a motion to authorize the submission of the SAM grant application, accept the funds, and disperse the funds to RG&E for purposes of undertaking the project. Been moved by Lisa, seconded by Truman.
Just one question.
Yes.
How much work is it going to be on these guys over here to administer this?
It is a work, we hired Connor, if you recall, about a year and a half ago, to help oversee these several grants, since this is the new way the state's going with distributing money.
So when they make these tax disbursements to the agency, do we have an opportunity to get some?
No.
Yeah, it's not.
We've asked.
They don't provide for
Certified bonus,
administrative.
Yeah.
That's a flaw, but I'm not gonna vote against it, but it's a flaw that should be addressed.
Oh, agreed.
Yes.
We don't want to
To
just
the
be
extent
nice
that we're allowed to
guys.
have an opinion, yes.
I just
It
think.
moves the process along.
It moves the process along, it's great for the region, but also we look to these young ladies and this team to come together and make things happen, then all of a sudden we pile more on. And when we talk about capacity, how much capacity can you deal with, or additional workload?
Maybe COMIDA can be a conduit for staff.
I'm not taking on workload.
How often do they make requisitions for draws for the funds?
I'm not sure.
What's
Do
the
you know
question?
how many?
How often do they make requisitions for draws?
So we just had our first draw on the first one, the Fairlife one, that took a year and a half. So it's a rolling as basis. As they spend, they have to get their spending approved by the state, and then we can reimburse them.
So even though there's additional work, it's not something where they're making requisitions once a week, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
But it's the state process and the paperwork associated with it.
And that's Connor's the one doing most of it.
With that state process, it could be very
Oh, it's
cumbersome.
painful. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think there was 250
Vast amount of documents, yeah.
receipts, documents for their first request.
Quite a bit, yeah.
Right, so you gotta match those up, so you gotta go through and look at all of those and match it up to the request, and so, yeah, listen, there's a lot of work. And again, there's a considerable amount of work, and the timing is, fluctuates, it's hard to predict, but again, it is, obviously that's the board's decision, but it is a lot of work from an administrative standpoint.
We do have a system in place, and so we're getting better at it, so it's becoming,
Less labor
Yeah.
intensive, right?
I'm just saying, I feel for you because I
we appreciate
know
that.
the state process.
You raise an excellent point, and
They're looking for more work.
we'll continue to advocate to the extent that we can. I think indirectly, COMIDA staff, obviously, the agency is powered by project fees.
Right.
And one would hope that we'll see perhaps more industrial and commercial development activity and residential activity in the town of Henrietta. Perhaps that will lead to additional COMIDA projects, and that will lead to additional fee income to the agency. But you're absolutely correct.
So my end statement will be that, make sure you track your time somehow. If you're not doing it, not to add any more work to you, but if you can just track that time and what the actual cost is associated with doing this work. It's important to have that data.
Yeah.
Do we still need the second motion on that?
Yes. It was a question.
They did, you did do it, you just need to vote.
Okay, all right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you very much. Okay, the next item for the executive director is the travel report.
Thank you, and the travel report, this doesn't require any action by the board, but I'm going to review staff travel for 2024. Staff participated in 3 separate programs that required travel. The first in March 2024, the New York State Economic Development Council Spring Economic Development Conference in Albany. Secondly, the New York State Economic Development Council Annual Economic Development Conference in Cooperstown, which took place in May. And thirdly, Connor Martin participated in the basic economic development course offered by the New York State Economic Development Council in June of this year in Albany. For the conference in March, the total cost was $2,889 at $722 per person. The annual conference in Cooperstown in May, the total cost was $4,860 at $1,215 per person. And the basic economic development course in Albany cost the agency $1,336 total. And this impacted, 4 staff went to the conferences in Albany and Cooperstown, and it was just the 1 staff member, Connor, attending the course in Albany in June, and that's all. Nothing outside of state borders.
That's what they said. Okay, let's see, you want to talk about the dashboard?
Certainly, because it's the end of the year, I'll touch on our dashboard, just to compare end of year 2024 with end of year 2023. Looking at incentives, sales tax exemptions, year to date, 22 such projects, last year 29. Mortgage recording tax, 13. MRT exemptions year to date, last year 11. Pilot agreements, year to date 12, prior year and 12 also, so spot on there. And total investments, this is where there's a bit of a delta. The prior year end total company investments was just about $1.4 billion, and this year to date $340 million, a little more than that. It's because last year we had the Fairlife application, hence the delta, the gulf there between the 2 numbers. In terms of jobs, I'm just going to look at new jobs required here. Year to date, 168, prior year end, 118. And then it looks like we've got a bit of a difference under existing jobs retained and new jobs projected. Year to date, about 1,200 existing jobs retained with the prior year end at 321. So you've got a lot of retention projects for 2024. And year to date, new jobs projected, 704 new jobs with the prior year end 490. So there's a positive change. And then fees, the resources that keep COMIDA operational. Total projects year to date, about $2.2 to $2.3 million in total fees, with 2023 projects year end just about $10.1 million. So there's a big difference, although we'll see that number change, we hope, if and when the Fairlife project closes, hopefully soon. And you can see that number reflected in, I think, outstanding fees under 2024 projects year to date. And then in the Workforce Development Fund, The balance, is $133,661. Since the Workforce Development Fund was established in 2022, with a beginning balance of $2.5 million and allocations of new dollars into the Workforce Development Fund, we've invested, I think, over $5 million in workforce development programs in Monroe County, in just that short period of time. So I think that's something that we should wear as a feather in our cap as COMIDA, investing in the workforce. And then the solar fund is status quo. We have a $50,000 balance in that fund at this time. And we'll report out about the Fairlife fee. Next up is the 2025 meeting schedule. No action is necessary from the board. The meeting dates are laid out on page 185 in the board packet. The third Tuesday of the month, except for the March 25th, 2025 meeting that's taking place on the fourth Tuesday. But those are all on page 185. It's for you to cross-reference with your calendars, and hopefully you can all join us for those meetings in 2025. And we'll have Ray Ryerson with us as well as our local labor board representative.
Also, thank you very much for that. We need to move into executive session right now. And so I'm asking for a motion to enter into executive session under section 105F to discuss personnel matters.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. not gonna stay for the
You
holiday
gotta
lunch?
check your ego at the door.
You're not gonna stay for the holiday lunch?
I am on very,
Good for you.
probably.
You're on a strict diet.
I need to lose about 20 pounds.
Takes dedication.
What's that?
You can go
It's
work out.
Christmas.
Yeah, well,
It's
I'm
the
not so young,
holidays.
I'm 45 now.
Now's the time.
Time to diet.
Metabolism has slowed down quite a bit.
Especially to be 45 again, what can you imagine? To be 45 and know what I know now. That's
Yeah.
good.
Tell us your secrets, Lisa.
Okay, let's see, we had the motion to come out of executive.
Yes, we're all set.
Yes, Allison's gonna get us, I think,
You're good to
are
go.
we back on
Right.
streaming? Okay, wonderful.
I guess they
So we're all
call it
set.
somewhere along the way.
All right, I guess we're streaming, so we can just go ahead and make the motion to accept the staff performance reviews and confirm the compensation steps as discussed. Is that correct? Motion?
So moved, yeah.
Moved by Truman, seconded by Brett. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Motion carries. Very positive discussion of the team and all that you do for us throughout the days and the night. Time too, I get stuff from Robin at midnight.
And on federal holidays.
And anyway, incredible staff performance again this year.
Thank you.
And we adore Rachel forevermore.
Thank you.
She survived I swear, so.
Yes.
Yes.
We're on.
Okay, anything else for the board today? All right, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn. Our next meeting is January 21, 2025.
So moved.
Moved
Second.
and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion